Give yourself a break. Give yourself a break. Or you might end up spiritually exhausted, spiritually fatigued, or maybe even spiritually burned out. Give yourself a break. The true spiritual journey. The true spiritual journey is tough. It is tough. It is tough to go through. But that is actually very rarely talked about. It doesn't sell well. Fortunately, I'm not selling anything with this video, so I can be as honest as possible. Most people, most spiritual seekers, they are hoping for some kind of sudden awakening, sudden enlightenment. And then the idea is that when that happens, then everything will be blissful. And that is because this event known as sudden awakening are often being used as the sales pitch. It is used to draw in our attention. But that is not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is ruthless honesty. Ruthless honesty. You know, I went through what is considered being a textbook sudden awakening. And that is almost 15 years ago. So I have a lot of experience about what it really entails. And I feel that it is important to be ruthless honest about it. Yes, it was extremely liberating. When the entire egoic structure suddenly gets stunned, and what is left is pure being. Yeah, that is blissful. But see, we are not meant to just sit in a cave, blissed out. After a while, we come to recognize that sitting in a cave or just walking in the forest or at the beach, being blissed out, we come to realize that that is actually becoming egoic. Ignoring the struggling of other human beings, ignoring the reality that the unaware human being is continually manifesting. And then we start stepping back voluntarily into the turmoil of existence. And when we do that, we come to discover that the conditioning of the human being is very deep-seated. Very deep-seated. I have learned that the conditioning of the human being is sort of twofold. One part of the conditioning is the conditioning that has been constructed in this lifetime. With that I mean the conditioning that has been a part of the education and the upbringing, etc., of this particular human being. And that sort of conditioning is actually relatively easy to dismantle. And we do that by inquiry, asking the right questions, as you have heard me said before. Asking the right questions. That is the path to dismantling or dissolving the conditioning that has been acquired in this lifetime. But there is another kind of conditioning, a conditioning that is a part of the human heritage. And that conditioning is not so easy to dissolve. And my experience is that when we face that kind of conditioning in our spiritual journey, then there is a very real risk of burning out in our effort to make this conditioning go away, so to speak. In other words, we very, very easily end up in a battle with ourselves, fighting something that has very, very deep roots. And when we do that, we end up exhausted. And sometimes the human body even gets sick physically in this internal battle. The people, for the people who experience this, a lot of the fuel, a lot of what fuels the continuous battle is a very deep-seated sadness. A very deep-seated sadness that is a result of This very deep-seated sadness is a result of the ability to see very, very clearly the essence of the human problem, the conflict within, the fragmented human mind. It has been seen within oneself, and then the ability to watch the world and what the human being has done to it and to ourselves, knowing the true course of all this madness. The ability to very clearly see that there are no conflicts in the outer world, that the conflict is within the human mind, within the conditioned human mind. And when we see that very, very clearly, it is a very heavy burden to carry around, knowing the solution without being able to do much about it. Or anything about it. That is painful to the bone. To see new generations being indoctrinated into old dysfunctional patterns. And sometimes that the pain that comes from that fuels our own spiritual path. And then we end up being extremely tough upon ourselves. Without any kind of compromise. And sometimes even I talks about that. Talks about not giving in. Talks about continuing. Move on. But we need to pay attention to the human being. The human body. And how much it can endure. The evolution of the human is something that will take time. And we cannot force a change by storming the gates of heaven. So give yourself a break. As the human, you will never become perfect. As the being, you will always be perfect. As the human, you will never become perfect. So stop trying. You will burn yourself out. Give yourself a break. Get up. Go out and do something weird. You need to laugh some more. This cosmic joke. But why does God allow all this madness to happen? Wow, that's the question. And by the way, when I talk about God, I'm not talking about some dude with a long beard sitting up in heaven. In the non-dual understanding, God is existence and non-existence altogether. But why does existence then allow for all this pain and suffering? Well, the answer is actually quite simple. It is existence itself that is experiencing the pain and the suffering. So the pain and the suffering is not inflicted upon someone else. And existence itself wants to grow, wants to evolve, wants to grow in the ability to recognize itself. It seeks to become able to recognize itself as itself. And if existence was a circus of endless joy, then that would never happen. It is through the pain and the suffering that truth will eventually emerge. Or perhaps I should say that truth eventually will be recognized as such. And also it is important to understand that if God, if existence and non-existence were to interfere just one single time, helping a spider, an ant, just a little bit, one single time, then the injustice towards all other human beings would be it would be of such a magnitude that no words could define it. So God cannot interfere, or else God would have to interfere everywhere. And then what? What would that look like? Nothing would happen. Nothing would be. Everything would come to a standstill. So there you have it. We are here to wake up to truth. And that is oftentimes painful. But the reward, the reward from knowing yourself, from knowing God, that's where we are headed. Impossible to say how long it will take, but it doesn't matter. But give yourself a break. Go out and have some fun. Go out and dance. Have some make love. An entire day or more. Enjoy being a human. It's okay. Of course it is. Don't judge yourself. You did not choose to become that being. None of us did. Go out and dance. Enjoy yourself. Have a good laugh. I think I might be doing a laughter meditation. That will be one of the next videos. Then we will see. Then we will be laughing all the way through a meditation. How would that be? It is so liberating. Give yourself a break. I love you. Give yourself a break. Everything will be fine. Thank you for hanging out with me. Stay safe.